Good evening. Hello, everybody who's come to join me. Hey, Kirsty. Hello, Sinscape. BC. Hello. We haven't seen you for a while, man. I haven't even spoke to you for a bit. We should actually message or send me a message or something. However, I've not sent any links out because I don't know if anyone's busy or holidays or whatever. Because people have lives and that's what they do. And I missed last week because I was away with the family. It was fun. It was certainly an interesting thing. So one thing I'm going to do quickly is I'm going to cheat and I'm going to put the link in the chat. Which also means that I've got to go do something else, and I forgot about that bit. Oh, I'll pin the damn thing. So yes, if you wish to come up and join me, you can do. The plan for this evening is to, again, continue on with the chariots. I enjoyed them last time, actually. I really enjoyed them. They were quite fun. Has my thingy not come through yet? Oh no, I've not bloody posted it, that's why. Good evening, Lee. Good evening, good evening, good evening. My voice is a bit gravelly tonight, I know. Too much sea air, I think it was, essentially. So while I'm doing that, I need some gold, I need brown, I need ivory, I need blue, same as last time. Pretty much. So yay, somebody's typed something so I can pin that message to the top, and that means I can close that now. Yay. So essentially, I'm looking at the same three colours as last time. But I do have a fresh piece of paper in my wet palette because the other one was absolutely chocker and I dried up because it had been sat there for over a week and I didn't put it in the fridge because I'm an idiot. So with these ones, I've tried to do it darker on the back and I'm going to try and blend it underneath to be lighter. Without using an airbrush, which should be fun. Which should be fun because it'll be a lot easier with airbrush because it naturally just fades in and out. Trying to do it without an airbrush is going to be interesting to say the least. Kind of a griffin is basically a griffin type thing. It pulls it's a bit smaller than what you would expect for a griffin. It pulls the chariots. I have my first guest for this evening. I have Sinscape Studios, who've just done their first giveaway, I believe. One moment, I should bring you up. Good evening, how are you doing? I can't hear much. Why can't I hear anything?
Hello, you can hear me?
No, yeah, I can hear you.
I wasn't talking. I was trying to figure out if it was working right.
Yes, I can hear you now, which is good. I can also hear
I've only got the one camera, but I thought I'd save people looking at my face.
That is fine, whichever direction you wish to point the camera, whether you're painting or you're chatting is entirely up to you. People come up here for both, and I appreciate both. So what are you painting this evening, since I'm painting
I'm painting a 3D printed Emperor, 40k Emperor, at my high standard.
At your high standard?
So I'm now doing non-metallic metal gold
over
the entire model.
Yeah, sod that.
Yeah, well,
non-metallic is not my...
This is layer 3, and I've been doing this for 2 days, and there's 7 layers in total.
Oh yeah, I've seen glazing techniques, and it's just like, no, thank you, no, and that's to get the best non-metallic. You are glazing, which
I'm not glazing. I'm just layering very, very lightly.
Yeah, basically, you're a stage away from glazing. There's not much difference between it, really. Your paint's slightly thicker. That's it.
I've done this one. The
Oh
gold on it.
yes, I did see the picture of that. Now, if anyone's not seen that, that is a
There's
beautiful piece.
no glazing on there. That's just layering 7 different layers of browns and yellow.
I mean, that's going to be the cape for the model, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yep, that is. Yeah, I seen that on. Yeah, that's a very nice piece.
Thank you.
I, on the other hand, will not be working any of mine up to that stage this evening, or anywhere in the near future, as far as I can tell. I shall bring you down as well because don't want to divulge your work. Obviously that's somebody's paid for that. That's your own content, if you wish it to be. Have you seen much on the new edition rules? Well, I do.
I've seen some. Not a lot, but the actual rules that were downloaded, they're the same as 9th edition, pretty much.
So they've not changed anything really.
They've changed a few minor things, and the way missions are done is different, obviously, like with command points and stratagems and stuff like that. But in terms of the core rules, it's just slightly modified 9th edition.
Oh no.
Which is good. It's good. Because
No.
9th edition is not too bad. But they've streamlined it to make it. But it's not. It's been simplified, but it's not simple.
Right. So the keywords are going to work like the old keywords used to.
Yeah. We still have keywords, still have stratagems, but there's considerably less of them.
Well, just the Space Marine bolter I found quite interesting. It's still rapid fire 1. It's got assault and it's got heavy. So the assault one means you can advance and fire it. Rapid fire automatically means you get double shot. You get whatever the number of shots is extra at half range, and heavies you get +1 to hit if you don't move, I believe. So you can advance and still get the rapid fire and assault thing benefits.
I think so, yeah.
That's a bit overpowered on those bolters.
Well, have you seen Space Marines' main faction rule?
Pick a target, re-roll everything until he's dead.
Yeah, for the whole army.
Yeah, and as soon as he's dead, pick a new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the sound of that, but it's picking. You've got to really, really pick your targets.
You do, yeah.
Although, having you said 3D printing, you've got a 3D printer. I've just accumulated a 3D printer that I have to try and get working now as well. It's a reasonably old FDM printer, but it's a printer and it's a start into the world. Possibly a start of a slippery slope. So painting.
I'm thinking of getting a 3D printer as well, actually.
But I was thinking more. I only really want it for terrain. As much as I begrudge and I whinge and I complain, Games Workshop models are absolutely astounding. Their sculpting quality is brilliant. Thank you very much, Lee. Have a good night as well, mate. How come here's a timestamp? I don't understand. Okay, unless he popped up down there and I didn't spot him. I've lost what I was talking about.
Rapid fire weapons?
No, after that. Yes, buying sculpting 3D printers.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Games Workshop sculpts are probably the best ones. However, terrain, even though they are the best, it's like you don't need their level of terrain to really.
Not really.
Enjoy it.
I've got enough for I've got enough terrain for a big board of 40k, and I've not even used it.
I mean, I've got more than enough, as I quite often do. I overkill rather than. Yeah, I need to kill an ant's nest. Right, go get rid of thermite then. You know, if you're gonna do it. Make sure you're gonna do it properly, and overkill's no such thing. All right, there might be some people who disagree with that, but there's always an exception to a rule. Good evening, Bry. How are you doing, man? How are you doing? Thank you for coming to join me this evening. While I'm trying to slowly sponge on a lighter underbelly onto this Griffin thing. So yeah, I'd rather do overkill. So I have a lot. Some Games Workshop official terrain. Most of it's the scatter stuff, like I've got 3 cargo containers, a crap load of what everyone needs. Barrels, yeah, everyone needs barrels. So I just stick barrels in every bloody box.
I've got some resin scatter terrain that's all barrels and tires and stuff. It's very, very nice quality stuff. I've never painted it though. I've had it for months.
Well, I don't know if you remember quite a while ago when they did the new Arc refresh.
Oh, this wasn't the Games Workshop one I got.
Oh, no, I know. Well, they brought out a standalone box called Speed Freaks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in it, you got 6 bikes and 2 of the new Sculpt vehicles. And I got that. And in it, you also got the 3 arc barricades and the 3 arc scrap piles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I didn't realize how much was actually in the scrap piles. It's like wow, there's like lots and lots of different things with just on the scrap pile, from tires to bits of how people normally put them together, with corrugated card, etc. There's all that type of stuff on there as well, but there's quite a lot of half vehicle pieces and bits you'll probably end up spotting from other kits.
Yeah, I think I've seen the one you're on about.
And they're quite a nice little set for just be able to put out a scatter piece or a terrain piece. It's like, right, it at least blocks base line of sight. That's way too much paint on there. Oh well, it can be slightly lighter. I'll work it up.
Is the quality of my stream any good? Can you actually see what I'm doing, or is it blurry?
From the size of my picture, I can't see you gigantically squat because you're the little tiny one. Once I bring you up there, yeah, the quality should be the maximum you can get out of one of my streams is 720. I'm afraid out one of these.
All right, well, that's what I'm recording at anyway.
So the maximum you'll get is 720. I don't pay for StreamYard to be able to do a 1080p stream. You have to pay for the upgrade on that.
Well, right now I'm just using a free app to transfer my phone camera to my laptop.
Oh, something like DroidCam or XSplit.
Yeah, it's DroidCam. It's DroidCam.
Yeah, I tried using that and I figured it was just. I found it was actually just better just to use my phone direct.
I couldn't figure out how to do that properly.
Just put the link in a Google search engine.
The link?
Yes. So so what you clicked to get in here.
Mm-hmm.
Put that in Google search engine and ta-da.
Oh, right, you're using the phone, right? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, if you're using it, just use the phone directly rather than. That's how I run this one. It's not connected to my PC.
Right, of course. Yeah.
It's running itself. I have to have it plugged in. It's got its own set of headphones. It's running as its own separate entity.
Yeah. I should have done that. I just did what I thought was because I did this setup when I recorded the Conrad Kurz model. Which I still haven't edited, and I probably won't.
Oh, you did your first giveaway the other night, I believe. Also, I tried to catch it while I was away, but I couldn't actually get a full connection. I think I managed a 5-minute conversation with somebody over Facebook.
Yeah,
and that was it throughout the entire being in the caravan. So I tried to catch it, but I believe Steve won.
He won a £50 voucher to any future commission.
Ooh.
But the winner of the actual commission tried getting in contact with him, and I still haven't heard back. He's proving extremely difficult to get hold of, and I'm not sure what to do about it. Because as a business page, I can't just message people. It's not, just in case I'm gonna try to spam people's inboxes with adverts, so they restrict what you can and can't do. So I can't just message someone. I can't, for some reason, it won't let me tag him specifically in that post. As you can see, it let me do it with other people, but it won't let me do it for him. So I think he's got some sort of privacy setting on. And I've sent him a message and a friend request using my personal Facebook, and he's not responded.
Put out a post. If you wish to claim, please get in contact by XXX date. If not, you shall be withdrawn.
Yeah, but he didn't see the post I put up in the first place, did he? Otherwise, he would have contacted me.
True.
So I don't think he's very active on Facebook.
True, but he was active enough to join the page.
Yeah.
If you can find out who pointed him towards the page, maybe they could get in contact.
I have no idea. There's no way for me to know that.
Apart from us, you do have a Discord community as well. So it may be someone from your Discord community has pointed him in the direct right. So you already know it's not anyone from there who's gone right. Okay, I know this person too.
It's just some random.
Well, in that case, I would put out another post with a period on it. At least a time period, because it can't be an indefinite thing. You can't if you don't want it, if it's not supposed to be an indefinite thing. Even if you put the period as long as a year, please get in touch. And then if they don't get in touch after X period, then you redraw the price.
I'm thinking of redrawing it anyway. But if he gets in contact with me in the near future, I'll give him one anyway as well.
Well, what you want to do in your private life is a different matter entirely. How about we just talk about the prices for now?
Fuck you.
So yeah, that's my thoughts.
Yeah.
On what
I think a redraw is probably the best idea.
But I'm not in a position where I can do giveaways, so I don't really know much to do.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be advertising another giveaway soon. I've just been so busy with painting and stuff, I haven't had time to think about anything else.
See, and this is why I'm not having you up anymore, because, well, it shows my inadequacy at painting. I'm not having you up big.
I've already sold 3 halves of the Leviathan box set.
Oh, nice. I don't suppose you've got any spare Phobos Marines you're throwing out, have you? I don't suppose you've got any spare Phobos Marines you're throwing out, have you?
I don't know yet. I basically have access to 3 Leviathan boxes.
Right. How have you managed that, if you don't mind me asking?
I have friends.
You have friends?
I have contact to suppliers.
Oh, right. Awesome. Is there any chances off this we could have a discussion?
Well, because I'll have 3 of them, I'm selling 6 armies, like 3 Space Marines and 3 Leviathans. I've had one person buy 2 lots of Leviathan off me, and one person 2 lots of Tyranids, and one person so far buying 1 lot of Space Marines off me. So I've got 2 Space Marines and 1 Tyranid left. If they don't sell, then I will probably offer them as unbuilt, or put them on eBay or something like that.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, maybe you can take some of them. Maybe I can split up the box and sell them individually. I don't know.
Well, I'm after trying to get hold of one of the boxes on release anyway, essentially.
Yeah.
Of course, he's got a new dreadnought. He's got 10 flamethrowers. He's got new sculpts. Hopefully I want more than one. I'd like to essentially, if I get hold of a box and someone goes, Well, I don't want the Space Marine side, but I really, really want another copy of the Tyranid side. Yeah, here you go.
Well, I don't actually want any of the models for myself.
Ah.
So if there's any left over, I'll contact you. I'll contact you and let you know what I've got. And if I've got like one half of the Space Marine side, I'm sure we can come up with something.
I'm actually thinking, any Phobos stuff, you know, the combat patrol that they do, where you get the 3 snipers, 3 thingy guys.
Yeah.
And the 10-man scouty type armor ones.
The infiltrators, yeah.
Yes, them ones. Do you know anyone who's throwing those things away? Because they don't seem to be very popular.
The infiltrators. Yeah, I've just done a commission for the infiltrators.
For some reason they don't seem to be overly. Either that or they are really popular and just don't see anyone ever selling or getting rid of them.
It's weird actually because the infiltrators are just basic intercessors, but they have auto wound on hits.
No, it's incursors and infiltrators. They basically look the same. It's just a different blood.
No. In incursors.
Incursors and infiltrators.
They're both pretty much the same, but I think infiltrators deny deep striking within 12 inches, and they get the reroll to wound on if they hit on 6s. And the incursors, the only real thing they do is ignore cover with the shooting. So the incursors are nowhere near as good as the infiltrators.
I want both. Ideally, I want both. I want them to help fill out the 10th company because I need to fill out with something, and Phobos seems to be the more natural fit to do it out of the new stuff.
Phobos are pretty cool, actually, to be fair.
So Phobos with a load of scouts to fill out 10th is what I was thinking. So I needed at least, 3 boxes I'm looking at. To be able to go, right, okay, there you go. I've got a fleshed out 10th company. So they've at least got options for heavies, fast troops, and any other such options that they would require in the.
They're underrated. The infiltrators.
The entire scout section is generally underrated. What was that? Was that you or was that me?
If you're on about the phone, that was mine.
Ah, right, that was you then.
I'll put it on silent.
No, it's fine. I was just checking that it wasn't mine.
Actually, it might be difficult for me to put it on silent because it's currently clamped in my holder.
That's what I was thinking. Don't worry, I was just checking it wasn't mine. What was I about to say? I was about to say something, but then I got distracted.
We were talking about how underrated the infiltrators were.
Oh yeah, not just them, scouts as well as cheap throwaway troops.
Yeah.
The fact that you can pack a missile launcher along with 4 sniper rifles is nice for next to no points at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then give them camo cloaks, plant them in a decent forward position, and they're a pain in the backside from turn 1. And they've got practically a 2+ save while they're in that cover.
They are good. It's just not my style of gaming.
Yeah, it's not mine either.
I like combat based.
I do like close quarters based, but I've found unless you're going against someone who's not close combat based, it's not that good. For instance, orcs against Grey Knights. Orcs a lot of the time found themselves just getting squished and smashed and destroyed.
Well, that reminds me, I had a game against an orc player a few weeks ago, and I was Black Templars, so 2 combat-based armies, and we almost wiped each other out with almost entirely down the shooting phase.
How did the orcs ever hit something?
We hardly had any combat.
So 2 melee-based armies and no combat.
Yeah, it was quite weird. He won in the end, but it was fun.
See, the last time I played against the Grey Knights, I used my Space Marines, and there was definitely combat in that, because he wiped his way through my Blade Guard veterans, and then proceeded to mob his way into my intercessors and my librarian and my captain and my hellblasters, and essentially just kicked the shit out of me in general. It was like, oh, nice. You're going to teleport that in where? Oh, right behind that big, right, and your paladins are going. Of course, that's where your paladins are going. Yeah, and then another unit of Terminators, and then a Captain Grey Knight armor.
I suppose that's the benefit of the infiltrators.
Yes, they can't deep strike that close.
They're highly unlikely to be able to charge with a deep strike, needing a 12.
Well, he couldn't charge anyway because of where it was positioned. But I managed to. Because he dropped his Nemesis Dreadnought right next to the Hellblasters. I thought, right, excellent, you're within 12 inches. Spec scan 2 CP. And no ones, but no bloody hits either.
That's the point. The way combat points are done now, you only get one per turn. You don't start with a load.
How do you mean?
So you know how currently, like, you'd start, if you did a 2,000 point game, you'd have 12 command points, and you spend them, and then whatever you're left with, you start the game with. In 10th, that's not the case.
Just give me one moment. I have a child I just need to deal with. 1 second.
Sure.
I picked the scab off, so I got. Yeah, what it was already peeling off. I really annoyed me.
Yep.
Maybe I should be talking. It seems so I'm still live. Looks like I'm taking over Laz's stream. Maybe we'll do a giveaway here and give away Laz's army.
I got like. Yeah. I know what was to do. That's.
First person to come and get to Laz's army, unless he comes back quicker. Unless he comes back.
I'm so sorry about all of that.
Not to worry.
And I am back, thank you. Although I have to, yeah. I'm not sorry about having to deal with my children, but I'm leaving somebody there. Do it. Go for it. I've got 3 people. Does that mean I've gone up or down? I can't remember. Thank you all for watching, by the way. Again, the link is in the description. If you're one of those people who is either brave enough to or knows that they will get up quite easily, I still have slots available, 3 of them, if you want to chat. So we were talking about 10th edition. You don't start with CP. You generate it at the start of each turn.
Yeah. I believe it's 1 per turn, including your opponent's turn. So you essentially get 2 CP a turn. That I think
really
sometimes they can be used in your opponent's phase as well.
Well, they could anyway, but that means, yeah, you're really limited on what you can do with the CP.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to be a major part of the game now. They really are just tactic things. They're not just like the core of the game anymore. Because with 9, they were pretty much you won or lost with the stratagems.
Not in the games I played, but I played very casually.
Well, if you had 2 players that used the stratagems, you won or lost with them.
Oh, we used them, but it was generally certain ones we would use. So, for instance, with mine, it's like, right, okay, if I go within so far deep striking with him, he's going to use that stratagem. If not, he's probably going to use the one where he has to stay still and get his thingy buffs again. Yeah. Or he's going to use the one where he has to fire twice, or he's going to... I generally only use like 2 or 3, apart from the main command stratagem, command reroll. That was the best stratagem of them all.
I think that still exists.
The command reroll still exists, yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
I don't know if it's limited. You watch, Kirsty, you're watching snakes hatch. Oh, no, thank you. No.
Oh, that's cool. I want to see that.
No, snakes are horrible. Why would you watch snakes?
I love snakes.
Snakes are disgusting. Snakes are horrible, vile creatures. Just look at them. If you can't figure it out from there, then there's something mentally wrong with
you. I think they're awesome.
Yeah, that my case is proven. Snakes are no. Some people don't. Some people go like that to spiders. I do that to snakes. No, thank you. No.
I like spiders as well.
I don't mind spiders. I don't particularly want to touch them, but I'll leave it be if I see one in the house. If I see a snake,
Well, you're not going to see a snake in your house.
I've been in houses where I've seen snakes.
Yeah, but it's not like you're going to get home one night and find one in your jeans.
No, it's not. It's not like that. But a perfect example: my friend had a snake, and because I knew I couldn't kill this snake because it was my friend's pet, it pushed its way out of its little tank. So I ushered all the kids out in the living room and shut the living room door, and nobody went in the living room until my friend got home and put it back in his tank. And yeah, I don't like snakes. Not at all. And
I want to know what kind of snakes they are, Kirsty.
Oh, horrible ones, because the snakes narrows it down to...
Don't be silly.
Me not be silly, that'll be...
Snakes can be very social animals.
They can, I believe.
Actually, spiders can be as well, but you know.
But it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to offer one out for a pint. They can stay where they are. You can call it species if you want. I don't care. I don't like snakes. I don't have to like snakes. No, I sure don't. It is definitely a phobia, though. Although, is it a phobia? Because some snakes can actually kill me. So, is it irrational to be scared of something that I'm not sure if it can kill me or not?
A phobia doesn't necessarily mean irrational.
Doesn't it? I thought phobia was an irrational fear of something. That's what made it a phobia.
I think it's just a fear of something.
No, because that's just being afraid.
Well, no, a phobia of heights is rational. Because that genuinely, if you fall from a height, it will kill you. So that's not irrational.
No, that's a fear of great heights. Great heights can kill you.
I don't know what the
small heights just hurt a lot and break bones.
Well, I always say I'm not afraid of heights. I'm just afraid of the falling.
Yeah.
And the landing.
Yep. Well, that's a great height. Because I don't like that one either. I do get a little bit. No, thank you. I'll stay back here. Yeah, no. I can overcome it to a certain degree, so like things like Blackpool Tower, or roller coaster rides, things like that, because I do like a roller coaster ride.
Oh, I love roller coasters.
I didn't get to go any while I was away, but I do like a roller coaster.
Where did you go?
We went to Blackpool.
Oh, right, yeah, you just said. Okay.
Yeah, but we went to one of the caravan parks there, so we got to spend some time. Actually, rather than going to try and cram everything into one day, we spread it out a little bit, so we weren't as worn out. We got to do a little bit extras and spend more time doing some other stuff. It was nice overall.
Never been to Blackpool.
You've never been to Blackpool?
No, never.
It's bloody expensive now. Very bloody expensive. Very,
Is
very
it good
expensive.
though? I've heard bad things about it.
It depends what you're doing and who you're with. As with everything, it depends what you're doing and who you're with. So if you go with a bunch of dickheads that are just going to go, what do you want to do? Pub, drink, yeah, you're going to get that experience.
Yeah, that's not what I would do.
If you go in, well, what do you want to do there? I want to hit the Pleasure Beach. I want to go on every roller coaster 4 or 5 times. Then you get there early in the morning. You make sure you're going on a trip that's got late openings, and you absolutely hammer them. Make the most out of your tickets and do that. There are shows, there is other stuff, so it can be all right. It just depends what you want to do and what's on, if you want to do the shows, and who you go with. Now, Kirsty, we did go to the circus at the tower, and the clown was funny. The clown was awesome. I like the clown. Yeah, she made me laugh. Can't remember his name, but he did. He made me laugh. And considering I'm usually quite a miserable git really when I'm out.
The closest I've been to Blackpool, and bear in mind my geography is shit, so I'm probably going to say somewhere on the other side of the country. Scarborough.
Right, Blackpool's on the west coast, just north of Liverpool.
Okay, where's Scarborough?
I think that's on the east coast.
Oh, okay, so I was right. I said somewhere.
I'm not 100% sure because I'm not 100% sure where Scarborough is, but I've got a feeling it's on the east coast.
It's still a holiday beach destination, so it's the same.
It is, yeah, same as like Prestatyn and all that. I've never realised what they're supposed to press in, but apparently it's very popular.
Yeah, my parents wanted to go to Scarborough every year for as long as I could remember. I got so fed up of going to the same fucking place every time.
You see, Blackpool's not that bad because it's changed over the years, but has kept certain parts of the old nostalgia. So the piers are very much the piers. It's little rides like waltzers and things like that, as well as a lot of the 2p penny shove arcade machines and stuff. But there are places like the Pleasure Beach which have tried to up the game and tried to put on slightly more elaborate shows and have upgraded their rides and brought themselves up slightly more. So there are sections and bits where it's kind of a mishmash of new and old together. It's not bad. Certainly an okay place to take the kids during the day. Would not take the kids out there at night because it's also a haven for stag do's and hen parties.
Yeah, that's not something I'm interested in at all.
Well, yeah, Chubby Brown does a lot of his tours end up there.
Is he still alive?
Who, Chubby Brown? As far as I'm aware. Yeah, Royston's race is still going.
Is he? I thought he died years ago.
No, he's still going. Still going strong as well.
Yeah, I quite like him.
He's brutal, and he's brutal to everyone.
I know exactly that he's not actually racist. It's just joking, isn't it? Well, maybe he is racist, but his jokes are still just jokes.
yeah, there's fun and humour behind every single one of them.
Yeah.
It's Bernard Manning who died years ago. Is that one you're thinking of?
Maybe. I just thought Roy Chubby Brown was
no.
considerably older. How old is he now then?
Oh no! Don't get me wrong. He's getting on a bit. He's probably in his 70s or 80s now, but he's still going. Grey as any old fox could be. But he still does it. Still plays the piano. Still sings.
I'll have to see if I can find any YouTube videos of him doing gigs recently.
Oh, there will be loads. There will be loads. Unless they've all been copyright strikes. I know I've seen some. Certainly within the last few years. Although I've got to remember, my time scale is not anywhere near what it used to be. I think, that was only a while ago, and someone goes, no, that was like 6 years ago. So, no, it wasn't, was it? So, yeah, that was 6 years ago. So, oh dear. Okay.
Oh, what was it the other day? I was watching a YouTube video and they were talking about games, and they mentioned the release date of one game that I absolutely love, and saying it was like 20 years old, and it only feels like it was a few years old.
Yeah, 20-year remaster. It's like, the what? I was only playing that last week, the original.
Yeah. I think it might have been Mass Effect. Mass Effect is like one of my favourite gaming series of all time.
Yeah, that's just had a remaster.
And the first one is like nearly 20 years old or something.
Yep.
And it's crazy.
Just think about how old Resident Evil is.
That was actually my very first ever game on the PlayStation 1.
Right, that's probably coming close to 30 years old. Is it coming close to 30? No, I mean, but what? When was it? About 90?
Well, I'm 35 and I got it near to roughly on release.
Right, so you weren't 5 when you were playing Resident Evil.
I don't think so. Unless I was late to the game with Resident Evil. It was like a Christmas present from my mum. She had no idea what she was buying.
Yeah, I bet she didn't. Jeez. No, mine was a request of, Mum, I want this game. What is it? Yeah, it's just a puzzle game. And then, yeah, by that point, I'd already figured out other techniques of like cheat cartridges and things that could help do certain aspects of gaming that maybe weren't necessarily intended, but they worked. So yeah, getting all the games didn't become much of a problem after a while either, which is always useful to be able to get hold of games. Because one thing we do struggle with, we didn't with us getting PAL releases. There was a lot of stuff that didn't come out over here.
Oh god, yeah, PAL. That brings back memories. Something wrong. Chipmunks disappeared again. Yay, Chipmunk's back.
Chipmunk's back. Oh god.
What happened there? I thought.
Yeah.
I thought the whole thing down.
I lost connection somehow. I'm not sure how. Both PC and phone just disappeared and went by device. Evening Buzzard, how are you doing, man? And CB, good evening. Thank you very much, CB. Thank you.
Hello.
Somebody needs to, because I'm sat here and wondering why my internet has just booted me out of everything. Am I sounding normal again now?
At least it didn't end the stream.
No, it doesn't. That's the annoying thing. It doesn't end the stream. I found that out very early on. EB found that one out for me.
It's interesting. If you lose connection, then don't get back on. That means the stream just continues on indefinitely.
Yes. Which is the conversation I was having with Captain Baptin the other week regarding giving somebody else control over the stream just in case something like that should happen. So they can end it or control who comes up, who comes down, highlighting comments.
Yeah. I suppose that's the benefit of having a mod on a live stream, yeah.
Well, it's not so much a mod, they get shared control over everything. So it's slightly more power than a mod. Moderators generally can just control what goes on in the chat comments.
Yeah.
The thing is, I can only have one person, and it's about 4 people. I would like to be able to go, okay, I would like you to be able to do it, you to be able to do it, you to be able to do it, and you to be able to do it. So if any one of you 4 come up, then somebody's up there to be able to. But I can only have one, so I've not been able to do it properly yet, which is annoying because Captain is one of them. BC Herbs, who was in the chat earlier, is another one. EB, obviously, as you probably guessed, is one of the third. And 4th would probably be Joey from Square Table Degenerates, because he's very good at it. And I trust him to actually moderate and interact. Thing is, all them do more interact with the chat than I do naturally anyway. Whenever they're up on lives, they're always on PCs or main screens where they can see it easily enough. The only time I've ever on it to do that is when I'm here and I'm looking at something else entirely.
Yeah, I get you.
If I'm up on any others, because I'm doing it on my phone, I can't actually bring the chat up and see what's actually going on when someone goes, "Here, look at this." It's like, damn it. Let's close the chat down again and do that. Don't need to click on that.
Well, I've been doing this for an hour and I've just finished one leg.
Yay.
Well, of this layer. Still got another 4 layers to go after this.
Well, I've barely painted 2 of the underbellies slightly lighter. So it goes from dark at the back there, slightly lighter there, and then lighter on the underbelly. And then I've done brown leather straps and a bit of gold buckling. That's what I've managed to do in the last 47 minutes. Yeah, I'm doing this at a rapid pace. I've not looked at the RDA for a while actually. Kirsty, what's are you not a mod? Are you not an admin in there, Kirsty? You can sort out whatever's going on. The Ring Dinkers Anonymous.
Is that another group you're in?
Well, it's a complete accident, is what it is. And it is madness. You are quite right, Kirsty. It's madness. Our advice to anybody who joins in is immediately mute the room. Immediately mute the room. Otherwise, it's just going to drain your battery all day. Going ding 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 ding. It's like, shut up.
That would frustrate me.
So yeah, first of all, that's the immediate advice to anybody who's wanting to go. Yeah, I'll join in. That sounds fun. It is fun, and it stemmed from the Embrace the Suck, an extension of the Embrace the Suck community.
Right. Okay.
Essentially, Daniel ended up doing some live streams on his own for that he calls Areas in the Nation live streams.
Yeah, I know them.
And from there, I believe Kirsty and Mandy asked me one night, is it possible to set up a chat, basically a chat room on Instagram?
I didn't know you can have rooms on Instagram.
Yeah, neither did we until I opened it and started it and found out. Yeah, you can. And because of the nature of the people who have been invited, should I say, I named it slightly codedly, but in honor of Dan's fireside brew and banters. One of the things he goes on about a lot is jousting, but in jousting over in Maryland is basically ringing. Big ring, little ring, medium-sized ring. Which one can you score points on? Ding, 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 ding. So ringing is kind of as well as its obvious potential other meaning.
Yeah.
So Ring Dinkers Anonymous became the in-joke to kind of tie the room in for those who are in the know, and anyone who's looking at it going, what the fucking hell are these on about? Is not then directly tied to their channel, so they don't have to worry about anything coming back on them going, you this said this and these are yours. It's nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. So yeah, it's basically it's an Instagram group that I, as soon as I opened it, I lost control of it.
Sounds horrible to me.
Basically, my only question is, does the room shut if I leave? And I don't want to leave. I just want to leave to find out. This is more of like I don't want to leave the group. I just want to. If I leave, does it boot you all out? There was because I created it, kind of destroy it thing going on.
Yeah.
In my head at the moment, which is it's not necessarily good, but hey, we all have megalomaniacal tendencies sometimes, or at least I do anyway. That's why I shouldn't be in power. I would be a dictator. I would. Otherwise, nothing will ever get done. But I think. But I think. But I think. Yeah, people vote for me. Shut the fuck up and do what I say. Done. See. And then that's when people start going, but we said, and that's, for God's sake, right, military. Withdraw all forces from everywhere, bring them home. Why? Gotta go shooting people on the streets. Protect the civilians. Go get the rest.
Oh, I don't know if you've heard. The price for Leviathan.
150.
Yeah, it's extremely cheap. And in fact, one source says they're selling it for 120.
Oh.
The Outpost.
What's the third parties are selling it to 120?
Yeah. The Outpost.
The Outpost?
Yeah. I don't know if you've heard of them.
No. But if I can get one from there, and if they'll allow me to pre-order it and guarantee it, then
possibly. They made a post about a free giveaway for Leviathan, and in the terms and conditions it said that the prize gets the Leviathan box set, and then in one of the other points it said the total value of the prize is £120.
That might be cost.
I don't know.
So Leviathan may actually be a loss leader for a lot of third parties because he's going to cost them 120 to get in.
I don't see it being much of a profit for GW either.
No, it probably won't. But same with Indomitus. How much did that set from Indomitus go for what?
I have no idea. I literally joined the hobby after that came out.
Well, Indomitus was £120. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the entire box set was £120. And you got a fair bit in that box set. I mean, you got a 3-blade guard ancients, you got the lieutenant with the shield and the sword, you got the captain with the shield and the sword, you got eradicators. You got the bikers, you got the assault guys. I mean, you got everything you got in that £90 little Champlain ancient set, plus everything you got in all the starter sets.
Yeah.
Just on the Space Marine side. So yeah, they've always been like that. The 8th edition one where you got, I think it was 3 of the Gravis jump pad dudes, 5 Hellblasters, 10 intercessors, a Gravis captain, 2 lieutenants, an ancient.
I completely missed 8. I went from 7th straight to 9th. I had like a gap of like a few years where I wasn't interested.
Well, I missed 6th and I missed 7th box. I was playing at the time, but I missed the box sets. But I managed to get 2 copies of 5th, which was Space Marines and Orcs, which give me a bit of a boost with my Orcs and give me the Terminators that I currently have, which are now going to be tiny, obsolete almost, because when the new ones come out, they're going to be big and chunky. But then I managed to get what amounted to 3 copies of the 8th edition starter set, plus additions and extras, and then 2 copies of Indomitus, which was nice. Yeah. I just need to balance it all out now into other things. Right, so what do we need to do next on these? They have claws. That will need to be evenly. Oh my claws, I hate claws. Claws are an ass. Oh no, that's his ass. But claws are a pain as well. Man, you got to start so bloody light. Really should carry on the chariot and do his wheel, but I can't be bothered. I don't want to work more on the Griffins. Because they seem to be the bit that I'm enjoying most painting out of these.
Something different for a change.
Yeah, power armors gets a bit like, oh, for God's sakes. Shoulder pad, knee pad, backpack, eye, gun. Next.
Yeah, I'm in a similar position because I've got like in front of me, I've got the Salamanders Warforged box set to do.
Oh, nice.
I've got Vulcan Primarch to do. The Forge World one.
That's a nice model.
I've got 4 Ultramarine Dreadnoughts to do. So it's all Space Marines except for 1 order. Actually, no, 2 orders. I've got 1 order for 5 D&D heroes and 1 order for the Dwarfs of Erebor with Bilbo Baggins.
Oh, cool. Those models are smaller, though, smaller scale.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's something completely different, but it should be a fairly easy job because they're mostly on metal. Like the paint scheme is metal.
Yes, he's mostly lead belcher, no lyle, dry brush. Done.
Not even that. I'm spraying the metal first.
Oh, there you go.
Very quick and easy job.
Spray of metal, no lyle, dry brush, done.
Pretty much. I mean, obviously, I'm putting a bit more work into than that. I've got the skin to do, and
yeah, but if the majority like is metal, then
yeah,
it says you're painting Necrons. Yeah, right, I've got to paint bits of green and bits of this and that, but most of it is going. That is done in ridiculous time and doesn't take much.
Exactly.
Which is why I'm going to have to complain at my friend who's probably still not painted his Necron army yet. Well, the person who got the other side of the Indomitus box off me. So my friend got one, I got one, and we again swapped over. He's still not painted his half yet. He's like, for Christ's sakes, what's taking you so long? Come on. Even I'm getting stuff painted quicker than you, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
I should not be getting stuff painted quicker than anybody.
You might have to change your YouTube name to Not As Lazy Mini Painting.
Not as lazy as this. I think he'll whinge at me for that. Well, it's not so much that I'm lazy. Well, I am, but it's just getting the time to actually, because I don't have a dedicated setup area. It's not like we can just leave it all set up there ready to go. I'll just come back to that tomorrow. I do have to put a lot of it away and make sure it's clear each and every time I get my stuff out. Right, usually looking better. At least looking unique and different enough so that we don't look like one generic creature. There's slight variance in whether it be the hounds or there's something there.
So much gold.
Funny enough, that's just what I've picked up. Gold. Always believe it.
When this customer asked me about the display standard, and I said, yeah, I can do that, like that includes non-metallic metal and stuff, and they said, oh, let's do the Emperor model, and I'm like, shit, what? It's all gold model.
Yep, every last bit of it is just like, well, apart from his hair, unless his health.
A couple of red bits, the cloak and the sword, that's it. That's the only thing that's not gold.
Yeah. Is he taking it from that classic picture?
Yeah, pretty much. It pretty much looks exactly the same as the picture. And I've got a nice base. I've got a really, really nice base for him. This is going to be white marble.
Oh, nice. Have you seen the... Of course you've seen it. The Horus model, the not ascended model, where he's quite small.
The Forge World one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the guy who was asking me to do this Emperor model and the Vulcan Primarch model, and who also got me to do Conrad Kurz, wants me to do all of the Primarchs.
Holy shit.
So I will be getting to that model, and I do like the look of that one. So yes, I've seen it.
Have you got has he got Sanguinius with the spear or the sword?
Not yet. He hasn't done Sanguinius yet.
So he's not going to have the spear then?
No. Well, when I didn't know that Sanguinius could be kitted with spear or sword, to be honest.
He can't anymore.
Oh, can't. Okay.
Right. So yeah, basically, when he came out, if you went to the event where he came out, you had the option to buy him with the spear.
Right. Okay. No, he hasn't actually got any of the models.
All right. So he won't be getting it with the spear. He'll be getting the sword.
No. I'll be getting it with however Forge World is selling it now.
Which is sword only, I'm afraid. It's a much better model once you actually put it into context, because it's actually a posed model. Whereas a lot of them are just kind of like standalone and okay, you can put in there. No, this one's actually designed to go on to a base. It's designed to be plunging a spear into Karbanda.
They all like that.
No, the Lima Russ and the Magnus one are. I think the Horus and somebody else is as well. but not all of them are thematic.
What do you mean exactly? Like, because the models that I've done so far, Conrad Kurz and Vulcan.
I mean, they're all in actiony poses.
They have their own little base, but that little base also slots into a diorama base.
Yes, but Lehman Russ and Magnus, their posing is posed for a specific diorama base that fits them both on.
Right.
Their posing is from the Fall of Prospero.
Oh, so you can put them both on the same diorama.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. I know what you mean now. Yeah. I think I've seen what you're on about.
Sanguinius had a diorama base with Carbanda on the floor.
Yeah, I think I remember
he had
now.
the spear plunging down as opposed to the sword coming down, which is on his smaller diorama base.
Yeah, I think I remember what you're on about now.
It was only available while it came out, which is kind of why I remember it's like, I wish I'd got that, because that was really nice.
It might be available to buy from third-party companies. There is a particular company that sells old Forge World models.
Well, it's still a current model technically. You just can't get the weapon option.
Yeah, but they might have the weapon option. They seem to have a lot of things that have been out of production. Like they have the whole Death Corps of Krieg armies. They have really old models on there from Forge World.
Oh, nice. I'll have to have a look at those.
If you're interested, it's Black Legion. Black Legion Market.
As a Space Marine player, I'm slightly reluctant to go there.
Well, the 4 Ultramarine Dreadnoughts that I'm doing, they were from the Black Legion Market because they're the actual Forge World. 2 Contemptors, 1 Leviathan, and 1 Deredio.
Aren't a lot of them going into Legacy? Oh, is it Legacy?
Yeah.
A lot of the old Dreadnoughts are going that way, including pretty much everything. I think everything apart from the Venerable is possibly heading in that direction, which suddenly means both of my little Dreadnoughts have become Venerable Dreadnoughts all of a sudden.
Yeah. But I mean, all the Legacy means is you can't play it in tournament.
True, but it also means it's not just that, they're not going to get any updates. So they're not going to get any balanced data sheets.
Yeah.
So later on, once Codex power creep has got to the point, and it's got to a 9th, because it's gonna, it's how they sell codexes and it's how they sell new armies through the meta. This army's going to be better, the next army's going to be better, the next army's going to be better, yada, 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 yada.
Yeah, of course. Well, the Contemptor and the Leviathan are plastic now, so they're going to get rules. It's only the Deredio that out of them 3 that it's going to become legends, and you never know, in the future they might bring a plastic version of it out.
Well, the Contemptor's available because of Horus Heresy.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got to stop saying that. So a lot of the Horus Heresy, anything available from the Horus Heresy will start being pushed to plastic. And that's where you'll start seeing bigger versions of, or resculpt versions of your classic Marines. And as they slowly get phased out in 40k for the Primaris variant, then eventually you'll be able to just use your Horus Heresy army or your Primaris army in 40k.
Yeah.
Because it makes sense if the phasing them out is to phase them out slowly and not only replace them but reintroduce them via a new game. It's a double way to
the ones they have. Yeah.
A great way to double down on the money. If nothing else, we know that Games Workshop enjoys making money.
Yeah.
So all my old Marines are getting phased out. All my little 25mm scale ones, they're all getting phased out.
I don't have any of the old style Marines left anymore.
I've still got Pedro Canto in metal.
Actually, I lie. I do have them, but they're in England with at my mum's house. I haven't seen them in like well over a decade.
I've got models in my house that I've probably not seen for all over a decade. I know I managed to find my old Space Marine Command Company thanks to a chatter who was in a few weeks ago. I didn't even realise that that's what it was. And it was my old champion captain, the apothecary, the tech marine, the standard bearer. And it's when Space Marines used to be able to field command squads, like the Imperial Guard do, as a little unit. It's like, wow, I completely forgot that they could do that. Never mind the fact that I had one.
Yeah.
But I remember that Space Wolves used to be able to fire bolt guns one-handed.
Oh, I don't remember that.
True Gryph, 3rd edition rule.
No,
So
I was never there for 3rd edition.
Well, it was an interesting rule. If you were armed with 2 close combat weapons, you got an extra attack. Simple enough.
Mm-hmm.
Space Wolves could count bolt guns as bolt pistols in close combat.
That's pretty cool.
All Space Marines, including Space Wolves, came standard with, and still do, come with a bolt pistol and a bolt gun.
Yeah, they do.
So what does that mean for Space Wolves? They're automatically equipped with 2 close combat weapons.
Space Wolves now can have close combat weapons in the unit as well, I believe.
They can now, yes. But then it meant that without paying for any extra upgrades, without paying for anything, every single one of your Space Wolf models was automatically equipped with 2 close combat weapons. They all got 1 extra attack. Every single one of them. For no extra cost. And it was brilliant. Because you could fire your bolter going in. And then when you got in there, you could fire your bolter again. And your 1 attack, which they still friggin' have, then went double, essentially. And be able to double your number of attacks, as you know, in 40k it's a dice rolling game. The more dice you roll, the better your chances. Yeah. Or the more dice you make your opponent roll, the better your chances. If I can make you, it doesn't matter if you've got a 2+ armor save, if I can make you test on it 200 times, you're gonna fail some.
Of course. I had a game years ago. I can't remember if I told you this or not.
I shall find out when you tell me in a moment.
I was playing against Tau, and I had a unit of 5 Terminators, and they had like a unit of 10 Fire Warriors, and I was going to charge them with my Terminators and wipe out the unit. Easy, right?
Yeah, you would think so.
He won that combat.
Oh, I can beat that one.
So when I got in, I fluffed all of my attacks. And on top of that, when he attacked me back, I had to take 13 2+ armor saves. And I failed 11 of them.
How do
you... So I lost...
I mean, I've wiped out Terminators with Gretchen.
So he killed my 5 Terminators with 10 Fire Warriors.
Yep, I've done that with Gretchen. My friend, I threw Gretchen out the back of a battle wagon as a meat shield. I was expecting them to get mopped up and just mowed down. That's what they're there for, the Gretchen.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, those Gretchen give those Terminators a whooping.
Sometimes the dice gods can work. in weird ways.
Gark and Mark were definitely looking over me that night. It was like, oh my
Yeah.
god. But that's back when the Arc Knob Blob, which doesn't sound very good, I know, but it was brilliant. You stick 10 of them with power claws in the truck and cyborg bodies, and you throw them around the board with reckless abandon. And you have 2 wound arcs with 5+ feel no pains and a 5+ invul save. Because you've stuck a Mad Dog in there as well. Evening McT, how you doing, man? So yeah, a 5+ feel no pain, 5+ invul save, all got power claws. 10 of them. And they just destroyed most things they hit. Took a lot of points. I think it was like 400 points for the unit. But it was just stupid. Before all these new fangled blast rules came out back in the good old days of templates.
I liked those templates.
I did until my friend overdid it. And I'm the reason he overdid it. I must admit, I am the reason he overdid it. Essentially, because I said Knob Blob Squad, I had 2 of.
Yeah.
Okay. And even for tanks, they were chewing through them very, very quickly. So my friend went into Games Workshop and said, look, how do I deal with this? I'm losing every match because he's doing this tactic. And they said to him, pipelet. And he didn't understand. What do you mean pipelet? Big templates. Just chuck them at him. Just chuck them at him. And you're like, I don't get it. Like, look, you clear his troops off quickly enough, and then that's all he'll have left, and everything then can focus on them. So, next couple of weeks, he gives it a try, and then he ends up on, I think it was a 14-win streak against, not just me, but everyone we played against, until the Tau player came back. And it was a bit of a dodgy move, because it was a gotcha moment. You didn't read my codex, you don't know my rules, so therefore you were expecting this. So he went to tank shock some fire warriors, and they had EMP grenades and they just blew up in one shot. And then they went hunting for the rest of his tanks and just EMP him to death. And he was like, hang about this, the tower beating me in close combat. It's like, yep. And now he's shooting at all you guys at range. So it took the tower to actually bring an end to a winning streak of all bloody armies. I mean, he was taking on Grey Knights, he was taking on Space Marines, he was taking on Arcs. He was whooping all of them, and then Tau come along and beat him. It's fun. How these things happen.
That's why I like the game.
Well, that's why I still like the game, because yeah, Tau get a bad rep. I must admit they do. But they can pull surprise victories out. They can play aggressively. They don't have to play that static gun wall that everyone calls them at. They can play lots of different ways. For them? The new rules for Tau?
Yeah.
Nope.
So their vehicles, the transport vehicles, have a special rule. Well, no, not their transport vehicles. Their main foot troops have a special rule. If the enemy charges a Tau Fire Warrior squad, and some other squads as well, if they're within range of a transport unit, they can jump in the transport before the opponent charges.
Oh, so they can do one out of the way.
Yeah. So you can shoot a devilfish down the board, get the Fire Warriors out, do your line of shooting, And when your opponent charges you, you just jump back into your vehicle during their charge phase, and then they're forced to charge the vehicle instead, which is unlikely to get.
Yeah, because
You have to change the target. So it's basically hit and run army. It's really cool.
Well, that's what they used to be, because they used to have the ability to do that in the assault phase anyway. In the assault phase, or their charge phase, they used to be able to move whether they declared the charge or not. And they didn't have to move towards enemies. They could move freely. So they used to be able to have a move out, shoot you, move back again tactic. Initially.
they did, but it wasn't the same as this. Like, if your opponent charges you, you can remove your unit off the board and deny him the charge.
Well, you're not denying them the charge, you're just denying the charge at that unit.
Yeah, they have to now charge the devilfish.
Yeah.
Which may or may not be a good option anymore. If you can hear noises in the background, by the way, it's my cats. They're fighting.
It's okay. Cats fight. And argue. And play. Mine chases her tail.
They like chasing each other around the house.
Well, I only have one, so she kind of entertains herself in that regard. Oh, what time are we on?
Been an hour and a half, and I'm nearly onto the arms of this bottle.
Well, I'm definitely, because I'm using one basic grade to see how well I'm progressing on the other one. So I'm getting there.
Cool.
Lots of blue, lots of gold. That transitions from light to dark could be better, but ideally I want an airbrush to do that with. I'm not looking forward to starting these two little guys. I think I shall leave them to next week.
I'm getting funding to get an airbrush. Any particular one that you would recommend? The one I'm looking at is Evolution, £150.
Yes, Evolution 3, is it?
I'm not sure if it's 3. It's on Wheeland Games anyway. It can't be any more than £150 because
that's how
much I've been given.
Harder and Steinbach.
Is that the one? Is that the?
That's who do the Evolution. But they do a few different variants.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Evolution Silverline 2. It is Infinity CR. Yes, it is the Infinity CR. It's a shame it's above your price range, so you just said. It's 200, but it's a double. It's got 2 cups and it's got adjustable needles. It's easier to adjust the needle. You can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah. It's CR plus. It's might be slightly above the price that you've been given though. However, the Evolution Solo or the Silver Lines, both within your budgets. A standard CR Plus version 2 should be within your budget as well.
Yeah. But Evolution is a good brand, I believe, isn't it?
Evolution is a range by Harder and Steinbach.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a range by them.
Yeah. I'll be satisfied with that then. £150 for that.
I mean, what you can get is whether or not you go for. I mean, the Evolution AL Plus 2mm colour cup, or you can get the one with a replaceable colour cup, which is a 2 and a 5mm colour cup, depending on how much you're going to be using. That's really what the only. They don't make bad brushes, bad airbrushes. That's the thing with them. I mean, even their budget ones are pretty good. You can get extremely fine nozzles as well if you really want.
Yeah.
It depends what you're looking for, really. Most of them will probably come with a 2mm lid.
Well, an airbrush for me is not going to be used for fine detail work. It's going to be mostly for getting the models covered in a layer and like getting the shade on the bottom and the colour on the top.
Then you're going to be wanting a decent, at least a 5mm.
Yeah.
At least a 5mm cup. 2 to 3mm. 2mm probably the smallest you'd be looking at for a nozzle. You'd be looking at 3 or 4 if you're looking to get more of an airbrush type, more of a spray can type coverage.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2 or 3mm will cover that. If you drop down to that, you're more looking to do the high detail work. And actually doing shoulder pads, guns, quillers, and I mean, if you get the practice in, it's wonderful. It's absolutely brilliant to get all that in there, but it's hard. I used a 2mm, was that 2mm nozzle, and it was okay. It was a lot more precise than I expected it to be. So much so that just going down over his shoulder took a couple of passes just so I could get the full shoulder, even though it was a standard shoulder. I still had to give it I'd go over it a couple of times just to get it all the way over because it was quite a thing. But there was no way I was trying a helmet or a belt strap or anything with it. It was just way too much.
Yeah, of course.
So really, it went a 1.5 or something to get down that thing. But a 3mm for undercover is more than enough. Might also suggest you get a cheap one, a very cheap airbrush for the sole purpose of varnishing also.
I just use a spray can for that.
But for the same purpose, if you don't put a needle in it and just varnish, it'll go on just as easy as a spray can, and it's cheap to buy the varnish. You can thin it down a little bit and mat it out and get it more controllable rather than it comes out however it comes out the spray can.
Right.
You get more control over the actual varnish, so you can add more of a matte medium or more of a satin finish to it if you wanted to as well.
All right, okay. I'll have a think about that one.
Right, I'm going to call this evening half a job well done, because, well, there's 2 of them and there's only one carriage that looks even remotely like it can be put on the table at the moment, and none of the guys really match up to anywhere near it. I mean, you can, the gold, you can recognise them, but yeah, it's not nowhere near finished. I've still got to recover from this week holiday. Jeez, going away with the family is absolutely shattering. It takes you another week just to recover from it. I need another holiday just to recover from a holiday. It's not right. It's not right. Thank you everyone for joining me this evening. Cinescape Studios, as always, if you don't see them when they're up here, this is the reason why I say there are people out there who are better than me. There are lots of people out there who are better than me than what I'm doing. I'm just doing it because I can. Thank you, McT, Kirsty, BC, Beaky, CB, especially for Pokemon for me. Thank you very much. Lee from Anfield Road Layout in the last. Thank you all for joining me this evening and saying hello, popping over. If you've left a like, thank you again. If you've subscribed, Well, I'm actually guessing I think all of you have subscribed that I've mentioned. So, yeah, even better. Thank you very much. And
Bye bye.
as I was, said it for me. Have a good night.